I want to go across now to former diplomat, senior IFS officer, Syed Akbaruddin. He joins us on this broadcast. Mr. Akbaruddin, welcome. We have this unseemly visual of flight full of illegal immigrants landing in Punjab, leading to a political backlash in the state and elsewhere. I have several questions for you. The first, is there no way in which the Ministry of Foreign Affairs can ensure that this is done in a more dignified fashion? Several of these Sikhs, their turbans are taken off, their handcuffed, being brought back on American military aircraft rather than civilian. It's all happening in a very unseemly fashion. Is there no way in which we can bring more dignity into this deportation?
So Rahul, deportation is not a new phenomenon. Those of us who've been in the trenches, so to say, for us, it's a normal phenomenon. I myself have worked for long in West Asia or the Gulf, and I can tell you I've handled not 50s or hundreds, not thousands, not tens of thousands, but hundreds of thousands of deportations. Because wherever there is human mobility, people tend to cut corners, and then they are deported because they are undocumented or illegal. So it's not new that Indians have been deported. And if I look at this century itself, I can be certain that I've been witness to tens of thousands, even maybe hundreds of thousands of deportations from, say, West Asia, largely Saudi Arabia, but elsewhere in the Gulf too, of Indians coming back. Usually, these are done in a very systematic manner. The country which wants to deport them asks our consulate people to authenticate their credentials in terms of nationality. We then usually give them what we call an emergency certificate, which is a one-way travel document that they can only land in India, but nothing further. And the country which wants to deport them usually pays for their return. Now, in every case that I have seen, usually there are no shackles or no ways in which they are handcuffed. What usually happens is they are sent through normal aircraft, 50, 100, 500, whatever else. In case they have been criminals and those have also been deported, generally again, they are escorted by marshals to send them back. So it's not unusual to see people being deported, but what is unusual is that in the process of deportation, there is a inhumane treatment or maltreatment of individuals. This is unusual. Also, I just read in the Wall Street Journal, there was an interesting article which I would commend all your listeners and viewers to read. It says that the first deportation flight cost the US something like $2.8 million. Which is way above what it should cost for deportation of 115 or 120 nationals. It entailed refueling of the aircraft twice when it was airborne. It entailed 7 stops in the to and fro flight. So this is unusual.
No, so should the Ministry of External Affairs raise its voice against the manner in which these deportees are being treated? Because A, we're on slippery ground because these ultimately are illegal immigrants. Therefore, it's not as if they have bona fide papers and have full rights. But the manner in which they're being brought back, and we're seeing from opposition parties in Punjab, they're furious with the manner in which these deportees are being handled. Should the Union government, through the Ministry of External Affairs, take this up with the government in DC, Mr. Akbaruddin?
So, I think we've acknowledged at the highest level that we are ready to take back any Indian national. So let's set that aside. Now, the only issue at stake is the process or the manner that you say. Certainly, it's unusual. It's never happened before. It's a costly procedure. And as friends, as partners, there is no harm in articulating our view that we perceive this to be inhumane, a form of maltreatment or mistreatment. I don't see any issue. Friends sometimes exchange views which are very different from each other. And I don't see any reason why this can't be done if it hasn't been done. That it hasn't been told to us doesn't mean that it hasn't been done, because this is normal diplomatic parlance. We have exchanged. I've heard the Foreign Secretary say that this is their protocol. Yes, it's their protocol. But I think we can have our views on that protocol, saying it's our nationals.
Mr. Akbaruddin, why are these flights all landing in Rajashansi Airport in Amritsar? You know, there are almost an equal number of illegal deportees who are from Haryana, 112 versus 127 from Punjab. It could land in Chandigarh. There are 74 from Gujarat in all these three planes. The planes could well land in Ahmedabad. So there are lots of questions in Punjab about why all these planes are being... Who decides that? Why are they going to Amritsar? Who decides that? And should they not be landing in more neutral ground, which could be Delhi or Chandigarh?
So Rahul, first of all, the whole of India is neutral ground.
Sure.
So let's not feel that one place or the other is not neutral. That said, the option of where a plane which is flying over Indian territory has to land always rests with the host country. So I do not see that it is despite our willingness to accept. So it's a choice that we've made. Now, I don't know the circumstances in which the choice was made, but it could well be that if you take Haryana and the Punjab together, maybe that's the nearest point, perhaps. I don't know the rationale, but don't be surprised that if we have other flights, because the numbers are still gathering, and don't be surprised if we have flights elsewhere. Frankly, we don't need to name shame anybody who's deported. Yes, he did it or she did it. It was an illegal activity. It's a civil mistake within the U.S.'s jurisdiction, and it's fine. We all make errors, and it's fine that they
to
send
what
back.
extent does this sour the optics of the India-America relationship at this time? Prime Minister Modi met American President Donald Trump in D.C. Does it take away from some of the jhappis, the handshakes? Does it make them seem more somber and less effusive than the last time?
So again, yes, Prime Minister met. It was a meeting which by all accounts went well. Yes, there are differences between USA and India on several issues. Mobility of Indians being one factor, or undocumented Indians being another factor. But there are diversity of views on several other issues. It shouldn't detract from the need or the success of a meeting at that level. Sure, they think that is their protocol. They have a right to follow their protocol, but we also have a right to place our views. So I don't know whether the solution will come out of placing our views or indicating our dissatisfaction with the process, but I don't see any harm in making that clear. But I don't think the bigger picture of India-US relation changes because of these factors. It sure is a uncomfortable situation, and we need to press to address that uncomfortable situation.
Syed Akbaruddin, you've made some important points. I thank you for taking out time and joining us in what I feel is a rare television appearance since your retirement. So thank you.